Hi, Minasi here. Today I want to talk about phrasing. There's all kinds of different ways to phrase. So I'm going to talk about close intervals and wide intervals and using the whole neck, if possible. First of all, let me tell you a little story. When I was 15, I went to Salvador for guitar lessons. And for you young guys, you can look him up, Salvador. He was a really big star in the late 50s, early 60s, and he had a humongous teaching clientele. And sometimes I'd wait online to get in to see him or wait in the office 2 hours to get a lesson. And he always gave a lot of work. I had tons of books to study with. But the first time I went there, and I had already been playing since I was 7, and I went through the whole Mel bass system, so I knew the neck. But there were things I didn't know that I never took, I took for granted that I should have known. And Sal taught me those things, or made me learn those things. But one of the first things he said to me was, play a C scale. So I play a C scale, I go like this. He says, what are you doing? I said, well, that's a C scale. He says, I know it's a C scale, but you're not playing straight eights, you're swinging it. Now, I didn't know the difference. All I knew is that I was hanging out in Berlin, and I was listening to a lot of jazz guys, and they played with that dotted 8/16 triplet feel. And that's all I knew. So I had to learn how to play straight eights, you know. So, but that dotted 8 triple feel comes in handy when you're doing like anything. You'd hear Cannonball Adderley do that. Makes it swing. So I could play the same line and make it swing. So that's one way of phrasing. Another way of phrasing is small intervals, which would be, let's say if we're in the key of C, C to D, a second, a third, and a fourth. Once you get to the fifth, I think it starts to become a little bit wide. Octaves, tenths, 13ths. If I had a C major 7, I could phrase it and get that whole neck thing happening. And what's happening is the timbre of the strings match, because I'm not going up a scale. I'm going. I'm staying on the same string, so it has that flow to it. Now I could do the same thing and not play across the neck. It doesn't sound the same. And this is my whole point. So whatever you're doing, you could be doing a scale, a song. And you can incorporate arpeggios, wider intervals. Now, if you're going to play fast, then, you know, it's harder to do that. If I were doing like, so to get the wide interval, so I'd have to really work at it, and so would you, to get those. Then a lot of guys will just stay really close. They'll stay in the 8th position, but that's really kind of limiting. If you're a position player, you're limiting yourself to a whole range of the guitar. And the guitar is like clarinet. It has that kind of high, low, and high range. So use the range. Now the other thing I want to talk about is straight ahead playing compared to we call free playing. Now, the minute I say free playing, everybody thinks it's going to be far out, way out, atonal. Actually, it's not. It doesn't have to be. I mean, I have a friend who's on Facebook, Mark Leinhardt, who plays some of the most beautiful free music you'll ever hear. And I give him credit because it's absolutely beautiful. And he just, you know, right? Where I have a tendency, if it's like a C minor artist, I'll go out, I'll go for the note steady. But playing free means without time. Then there's playing free within the changes, and that I have a tendency to play out. So if I'm doing, all right, I can play this whole thing, things like that. Whereas other guys will play through the changes, but they'll play very, very tonal. The choice is up to you. So you can play free, you can play atonally, you can play in time, you can play out of time. There are 1,000 different choices, and every choice you make has to come from you, not from somebody else. I mean, you can listen to Johnny Smith play forever and then incorporate all that, but it's not you, it's Johnny Smith. The same thing, you can listen to Wes, play like Wes, transcribe all his solos, incorporate it into your playing. It's still Wes, it's not you. The whole idea, if you want to be a jazz artist, is you have to bring yourself into it. And you have to hear things that other people don't hear. And it takes a long time, it takes a lot of practice. So, good luck.